Hi everyone, this is Lapoze, the owner, director, CEO, head figure of Suki Suki Vintage, and today I'll be doing a get ready with me video. So I'm just gonna beat my face and do some makeup whilst I answer a question that I received, that I've been receiving a lot as of late. Just, you know, how to grow your Depop page, how to get more sales, how to get more attention, all of that jazz. And I wouldn't say that I'm like an amazing person to get advice from. There are a lot of videos out there of people giving great advice on how to do this. I guess people want to hear my perspective on it, I guess, and I guess we should go from there. So I will give you my perspective on how to grow your Depop page, how to gain more attention. And yes, I believe it was Blackout Tuesday. A lot of people were suggesting a lot of black vintage sellers, a lot of black creators, and I started gaining a lot more followers from there, gaining a lot more sales from there. So that really boosted me. But my little brother said something really intelligent, very wise actually. He said that I shouldn't feel as if all my success is dependent on this phase of people discovering black people. It's more so like an alignment of preparation and good timing. So I was prepared. I had amazing pictures up, I had amazing stock, and the timing for me to become successful just coincided and came together. So preparation and good timing came together for me, and that's how I was able to gain so many followers and generate a certain amount of sales every month. But yes, before I go into that, I've also on my personal Instagram, Lapoze_, I received, I posted this picture and someone asked me if I could post a tutorial on it. So I'm just gonna quickly buzz through that and give you a mini tutorial. So the first thing I do is I drench my hair when I'm in the shower, and I put this conditioner in it. It's the ginger conditioner from XHC. Then I use a Denman brush and I detangle my hair again and just comb through the knots, any knots that I have missed. And then once I finish doing that, I go in with a bristle brush, and it is double-sided. It has a coarse side and a much softer side. And I use the coarse side to kind of push down my hair and sort of lay it down a lot more. And then I use the softer side to lay it even more, you know? I tie my hair up into 2 pigtails, and then I tie my hair up again into 2 buns. I also wear a bandana to flat down my hair for about 5 minutes. And the secret ingredient to the sauce, baby, are these 2 puffs here. So I spray the puffs in some leave-in conditioner. I don't know if it does anything or if the hair is real, but it just smells a lot nicer to me, so that's why I do it. And then I pick through it with a comb to give it more volume. I use the 2 combs that are attached to it, place it in my hair, not too tight because I don't want to pull out my hair. Then I use the drawstring to wrap it round and tighten my hair, and that is the end of it all. So now that you've seen my lovely hair tutorial, I'm going to get into answering this question of how do I grow my Depop shop? How do I grow my online vintage shop? So the first piece of advice that I would give someone that would like to start a Depop page is to first create an Instagram page for your shop. Even if you haven't posted your products on there yet, post inspiration pics. That's how I started, really. Now the basis of what my shop is really inspired by, like the theme or what I mostly curate, are 70s items or 70s inspired items. So what your store's inspired by or gets inspiration from, you should post inspiration pics. So for example, if you only plan on selling designer items, post catwalk pictures of your favorite designer brand, you know? Or vintage adverts from that designer brand, you know, post inspiration pictures. And also another thing that I've noticed is that a big thing that I've noticed is that within the vintage community, we're all so very supportive of each other. We're all really sweet and helpful to each other. So And also we love inspiration pics. We love a vintage inspiration pic. So as soon as you start posting that and your Instagram feed looks amazing, aesthetically pleasing, you'll gain a lot of followers. And I'm going to give you a very important business trick. In order to create a business, you first have to establish something. Your business needs to be built on something, and then think about the business afterwards. For example, my business is built on my love for the 70s first. My love of the 70s is established, and then you kind of, from that, you're like, oh, by the way, I sell clothes inspired by the 70s. You know, you go off of your love or off of the brand, your brand's foundation, and you build from there. So if it's designer clothes that you're obsessed with, post your favorite catwalk of the 90s, your favorite catwalk of the 80s, your favorite designer brand, and build from there. Secondly, I would say consistency. Consistency is a very big thing, and consistency should be, when I say consistency, I mean that in terms of social media and Depop. You should be posting items, I would say, a lot of, depending on how much stock you have, I would say you should be posting items every day. I don't do this myself. I post items every week. So what I do for Suki Suki Vintage is I create edits. So every week I will come out with a new edit inspired by something. So for example, my recent edit is the crochet edit, and it's just filled full of a collection of different vintage crochet items, dresses, crochet cardigans, crochet tops. So yeah, you should come out. I'm not saying come out with a freaking edit every week, but come out with stock every week. And if you can't do that and you're just first starting and you haven't got that much stock to begin with, on Depop, it's really the easiest way for you to generate, to gain attention, is to just repost the item that you've already posted. Repost the item you've already posted. Just go into edit, make a couple of changes, post it again, and it will rise up. It will go to the top of the product list or items or whatever, and it will appear as if it's a new posting. So obviously if it's new, when people are looking for that certain item, it will be at the top of the list because it's new. So yeah, repost an item if you haven't got that much stock and you know you're not going to receive stock for a while. Oh, another good piece of advice is if you've had an item on your store for a while now, so let's say you've had it there for 2 months and it's not selling, and you're like, why is it not selling? Maybe you should consider retaking pictures of the item. Change your setup. If it's a flat lay and it's not selling, model it. If you've modeled it already and you're not gaining that much attention, style it in a way that will make it look attractive and people are like, oh, now I know how I'm going to style this item. I want to buy it. So make the item look appealing so that people want it. Change things up, or think about even lowering the price. What I learned from is lowering prices. That's what I learned, what my clientele, what my customers, how much they would pay for an item is by reducing it. So start by £1, reducing it by £1, reducing it by £2, £5. And if you notice it sells, then maybe consider selling an item like that again for that same price. And a big piece of advice I would say when you're starting out, do not let people low blow you. You know, I got low blowed the other day and I'm successful. I'm selling an item for £30 and a girl messaged me saying, oh, will you do 5, babe? £5? Flipping heck, I didn't even pay that much for the item. I paid more for the item and you want it for less. Ridiculous. And when I said no, a full out no, she was like, your little business isn't gonna go anywhere. It's just like, what? You can't afford my little business, love. That's why you're low blowing me. So yeah, don't fall for the trick of the low blow. Stand your ground, be patient, and know your worth. That is a very important thing. Know your worth as a business person, and consider yourself a business person. Even if you have 2 items, mentally tell yourself, I'm running a business, I'm a business owner. The power of the mind, I tell you. Once you tell yourself that, once your mind is stretched, your ass will follow. So Tell yourself mentally, say, I'm a business owner. I own a business. I own 51% of this company. Tell yourself that and your ass will follow. That's the most important thing. The most important thing is the mind first. And I think that's where people fall short in anything in life, whether it be business or whether it be what else, anything really. It's a mind game, really. It's a little gem for you people. Mind. Follow your mindy, follow your heart. And also times. So times and days. I've noticed that days that work for me to post on are either a Friday and a Sunday. I would say Friday because people are relaxed or they've just got paid, they've got money, you know, and they're looking to spend it and spend it on me. So I would say Friday because that's usually the day that most people get paid from their jobs. And Sunday because people are relaxing, they're on their phones, they're not thinking about doing something, so they're sat down on the couch, they're in their bedroom, and they're like, oh, let me just scroll through this. And because they're so calm, they're like, ooh, I like this, I want to buy it. So I would say the days that work for me are Friday and Sunday, but again, I'm really impatient when it comes to making money sometimes. So other times I will post on different days, like for my crochet edit, I posted that yesterday, which was a Wednesday, and I got I got quite a lot of sales, which was hilarious because I thought, oh shoot, like I'm dropping this really early. But I guess it's all dependent on, you know, how you feel and what you want to do. But I would say the most successful days for me are a Friday and a Sunday because people are willing to spend money those days. And in terms of times, I would say, sorry, I'm going to do a trick that I saw on Instagram. Smiling. Get rid of the smile lines. You bake the smile lines. And I smile a lot, so this trick really helped me. But in terms of times, I would say the best times are either I would say the best times are either 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock on any day, really. Those are the best times. But again, I break my own rules because I posted yesterday on a Wednesday at 3 p.m. and I generated sales. I mean, I got one sale at 3 p.m. and the rest followed at about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So you see, even though I posted early, I still generated my sales at the time that I would usually generate sales, which is 6 o'clock. I'm going to talk about, I guess, now that I've given you advice, I'm going to talk about my journey with Depop. I think I've spoken about this before on my IGTV on Suki Suki Vintage. Suki Suki Vintage's Instagram. So if you want to have a look at that, you can watch that too. It's just a mini 5-minute video, but I guess I'll go into more depth here. My romantic history with Depop started in 2013, 2014. And I don't know if any of you know, but I am an illustrator. I feel so guilty using that title because I have not drawn anything in months and I've really fallen out of love with art. Just after I've completed after I completed my masters, I completely fell out of love with art because of how institutionalized they made the art form for me. I digress. So yeah, I wanted to sell my artwork on Depop, but at the time people were just looking to get bargains and clothes and artists weren't really popping off on there like that, so I didn't really generate many sales. So I was like, you know what, let me try selling some old clothes that I have that I want to get rid of. So I did that, and I remember I generated my first sale. I sold a gold necklace. It wasn't real gold, it was like, you know, some sort of nickel or something. I sold that for £8 and I just got this rush of joy. I was so excited. I was like, I sold something, I'm a businesswoman. And from there, like I told you, your mind, from there, I started thinking of this, my pursuit of Depop as a business. And that's when I saw more success. In that summer, I believe I made like over £200. I made like 200 or 300 pounds just selling old clothes that I didn't want. And I just felt so successful. I was able to pay off my phone bill, which back then I had a hefty phone bill. That's before giffgaff entered my life. Sponsor me, giffgaff. So yeah, that really helped me. And then I just went back to university and I completely abandoned Depop. I totally forgot about it. I gave it a bit of a spin again. I think it was about 2016 I gave it a try, but my heart wasn't in it, and I didn't really give my all in the pictures. Like, I didn't do the pictures justice, so I didn't generate any sales. But then I tried again in the summer of 2016, and I got some sales, you know, some cheap sales here and there, sold some things for £2, £5, blah, blah, blah. And then I stopped again. And then I started again properly in 2017, and I was knocking the ish out the park, baby. I was making so much money. That's when I created Suki Suki Vintage. I discovered my personal style, that I loved the 70s, and so I applied that to my brand, named my brand Suki Suki Vintage, which of course, if you don't know, is a 70s slang term. Suki, suki now. I wanted people to say that, you know, well, figuratively, to say that once they bought an item from me, to be like, oh, I look amazing. And so yeah, I based my love of the 70s on my budding business, and it became a success, bish. It became a success. And I only started seeing a steady income from Suki Suki Vintage, I would say, this year. But that's because I've been distracted by jobs, or lack of jobs, we should say. And I kind of didn't put my all into it, and I didn't have enough money to buy the inventory that I wanted. I didn't have enough money to buy the lighting or buy the backdrop that I wanted. So I kind of put Suki Suki Vintage on the back burner. But this year, during coronavirus, I'm going to be honest with you, this year is a very yin and yang year. I don't believe it's an all right bad year. I believe that a lot of good has come from it and a lot of bad. I believe it's a 50-50 year. Good in the bad and bad in the good. The coronavirus, terrible. People losing their jobs, terrible. People dying, terrible. Like, a lot of bad things have happened, but then a lot of good has happened from it. A lot of my beautiful black queens and myself have started our own businesses. We're pushing ourselves forward. I'm living in an apartment where I can actually move and do this and not bump into anything. My parents have a lovely home now. I just feel like a lot of good has come out of this year and a lot of bad. I feel like it's a rebirth year. That's the year I would call it. When you're about to give birth to a child, you're in pain, you're not ecstatic. So there's a lot of pain that comes with that. But towards the end, once you've given birth and the child is here with all of the blood and yuckiness all over it, there's still that beauty, because you're like, wow, my child is here, my child is born, I am so happy. So yeah, this is definitely a year of rebirth. And with all good things, my darling, they take time. Rome wasn't built in a day. Businesses are not built in a day. Unless you can get a small loan of $1 million from your father, then they can be built in a day. But things take time. And if you put your all into something, and if you love what you're doing, it will show. I love the 70s. I love the clothes that I model. I love the clothes that I curate, and it shows. People literally message me saying, I see the love that you have for your business. You're beaming whenever you model these clothes, and it's because I am. People are very perceptive. They're more perceptive than you think. People know when you put your 100% in everything. People know when you hate something. Put love into something and you'll reap the rewards back. You definitely will. And I love my business, and I am now reaping the rewards. But I definitely want to be at a stage in my business where I am at internet girl levels. Like, I'm just like, we just donated 18K from selling stickers. I was like, bitch, you made 18K today? I don't know if I made 18K in my lifetime. I want to be in a place in my life where, I'm going to use Boohoo as an example. I know, terrible. I want to use Boohoo and Pretty Little Thing as an example, but I want to be at a place where people come to me first. They're like, I need a pair of new trousers, where I really need a new dress for this event. Oh, I know where to go. I'll go to Suki Suki Vintage. I want to be the first place people go to when they want to source a piece of clothing. That's the stage I want to be at in my life. My love of the 70s came with Childish Gambino's Awaken My Love album. The funkiness, the soul of that album just opened up my mind to a whole genre of music that I had never really listened to before, like funk, the funk of the 70s. And I was just like, I love this era from that album. And the way that he like started styling himself to promote the album, like it was very 70s-esque. And I was just like, I love this era. And I thought, you know, I've already got the hair, my hair's already natural, which goes with the era very well. I might as well let my fashion follow that. And so I fell in love with flares, fell in love with prints, I fell in love with prairie dresses, I fell in love with it all. Any sort of subculture from the 70s, your girl was on it like Sonic. I basically owe my business, owe my love of the 70s to Childish Gambino. Childish Gambino, if you're watching this, buy some clothes from me. I love you. You've inspired me. You've inspired me for a while now. And that's on period. Another thing that I wanted to speak on is the whole Black Lives Matter movement. And oh, I'm scratching. This is a signifier that I'm not comfortable with what I'm about to say. I'm just giving you a tell. I'm going to speak about it from the creator stance. I know I'm not really going to speak about the police brutality, because I feel like I'm not educated enough to speak on that. But I'm going to speak on a sort of beauty creator, vintage world sort of thing. And I was watching this YouTuber. She was basically speaking on the Black Lives Matter movement and how that she obviously didn't know that these police killings were happening, and how she's educating herself a lot more. Not only that, but she's making sure that she's following a lot more Black influencers, and that before she was following no Black influencers at all, and she wasn't following any Black people at all. And I was so irritated by this. I was just like, what? You work on the internet, like the internet is your living, and you don't know any Black creators, you don't follow any Black people on your Instagram. That has nothing to do with being blinded by, you know, not knowing. It has everything to do with ignorance, and ignorance is a flipping choice. I truly believe you saw Black influencers, you saw Black creators, you saw them, but you didn't think they were for you. Because why? You think of Black people like vegan food. Vegan people can only eat vegan food. No, Black people are for everybody, okay? Black people are the friggin' originators. The amount of trends that create are freaking amazing. And for you to not follow or not know of any Black influencers irritated me to the core. It's like now everyone realizes that Black people exist. We've been existing, and you know we've been existing because whenever we're walking next to you, you clutch your bag or you cross the street. So that really irritated me. Obviously, I did not subscribe to her, because watching that one video, I was like, girl, you've lived on this earth how many years? And you don't follow not one Black person. Suit yourself. Listen, if I'm not your cup of tea, then I'm not your cup of tea. Let me not get too negative and too in a that. Gucci. Let me put something a little bit more sexier for you, and I'll be back. So, she is done. How am I looking? Would you take me out on a date? Huh? Would you? OnlyFans? Huh? But this is the finished look. Oh, let me show you what the dress be looking like. So this is a Lipsy dress that I've had on my shop before. I sold it a couple of months ago and then I found it again. And I remember my mom was like, why did you sell that dress? It looked amazing on you. And I was like, I know, I wanted it. Found it again. Hello. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you really enjoyed my Get Ready With Me video. I hope you learned some tips, and if you did and you've applied them and they've worked for you, please let me know. I'd really appreciate it. And carry on this conversation with me in the comments. Anything that I've said that has resonated with you, chat with me. I do reply to comments because your girl is new to the YouTube game and she's got time to reply. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week or in 2 weeks' time. Bye, guys.